I'm going to give you a little secret, and it's probably not much of a secret or very valuable, but I'll tell you anyway. So this dirty water up here where I rinse my brush, like in 3 days, is going to evaporate a bit. I'm going to take this and put it in here, and I just keep putting all my dirty water over here. It's not dirty like gross, it's just got paint in it, and it's got a lot of different color paints in it, so it turns this muddy gray color, this color, and it's perfect for sketching hair. And this way I'm not wasting paint, and I have this nice thin color that for some reason always turns out the same. That muddy gray color just is what it is. I didn't invent it, it invents itself. Again, I wish I could just stop here. I wish I could say, look at that. That's pretty. Let's leave that way. And I'm like, oh no, just a little more, just a little more. And then a couple of hours later, we have this. I can't help it. Everybody has their favorite part. I remember before I knew how to paint hair, it was the dreaded part. I was like, I'm just gonna sell bald babies because I don't like to do hair. It's too stressful. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. And I had this block for a hot minute. And I have this doll forum that I belong to, and I was telling everybody, oh, I've got this block. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then one day, and it's just like dieting. Sometimes if you're dieting by yourself, you're not accountable to anybody but yourself. So you rationalize things like, yeah, I ate a whole bag of cookies, but all I had was carrots for dinner, you know, and then you don't lose any weight. But when you're accountable, like let's say you're dieting with friends, or you commit to walking 3 nights a week with a group of friends, or you have a personal trainer. God, I wish I could afford a personal trainer. But you know, that kind of thing. And you're accountable to somebody, you tend to be have to be a little bit more honest, and you have to show up. And so what I did was I went to my doll forum and I said, my name is Gabriel and I am a scaredy cat about painted hair, and I really want to learn how to do it. And from today on, I'm going to just do it. And if it looks bad, it looks bad, but I'm just going to keep doing it till I get it. And then I would show them my progress, and they're the nicest group of ladies, and they would say, oh, that looks amazing, except, you know, maybe you want to use some graduated color, or that looks great, but it looks a little too heavy in front. That looks great, but, and they kept giving me positive reinforcement and helpful critique. So I just kept growing and kept painting until one day somebody said, you've got it, you nailed it, you nailed it. And I was like, yay! I didn't really, it was passable. You know, it was just like not too embarrassing. It was just okay. I don't think I've ever truly just rooted without having paint underneath. I'll get there, little by little. It keeps it fun when you still have stuff that you want to learn to do. You know, if you figured it all out and you've mastered it and you're bored, that's a sad day, right? Well, for me, that would be a sad day. And I love it when artists do something great and I go, whoa, I want to do that. I don't want to be them. I don't want to do it exactly like them. But, you know, I get inspired. Like, who was it that was Yvonne Nather? She's a longtime Reborn artist, and she made a couple of lives on, I think it was Facebook, where she just sat and painted hair and people could watch her. And I mean, that's so nice. That is just so nice, and people really dug it. And I was watching her, and the thing that was making me go crazy was she has this very peaceful, perfectly clean place where she is painting. She has this pretty little desk, like secretary desk. And she has a little basket of paints and some paper towels and her little paints. And it's not like here where everything's just like, looks like, you know, a craft store blew up. She just has, you know, it's very minimal. She has a nice glass of wine, some pretty music playing in the background. Everything's tidy. And she's just sitting there painting away, very relaxed. And I was going, I want to be you. But not going to happen. I got a lot of stuff going on in this studio, and noisy family. On the other side of that wall in the house, there is a noisy kitchen and people talking and cooking, and I'd like to play some peaceful music in the background. Maybe I will. That might be nice. I just don't want to get in trouble with copyright laws. Maybe I'll play my son's music in the background. That'll be nice. He's got some groovy mellow tunes that would work. He keeps promising to write a little intro music for my channel, but he's so busy. I hate bugging him about that. I'm not sure how the whole copyright thing works, but I'm guessing if you have permission, it should be okay. Okay, so while I was just blathering on, high on, what kind of tea is this today? High on peachy green tea, and green tea does have caffeine. And I am affected by it because I'm a wimp. But if you can see it well, I'm not sure. Let me see. Now that we have the sun, it's not being my friend. And then later on, you can come in with a finer brush. Like, can you see it there? That's probably better. I don't know if that's helpful. A finer brush. You can buy one. You can make one. For those of you who did not see in my other videos, I will show you some of the brushes I have in my vast hair painting collection here. You would think I'd have more, but I'm really satisfied with maybe 3 of these brushes. I have a couple of these that I got. They're from, like, I don't know, from Michael's or something. Not my favorites. These are pre-cut brushes. They just, you got 5 lines. It looks like you're raking ahead. I used them for a while and then I got tired of them. I've made some brushes with the same idea. Now the cool thing about making your own brush, here are some of them. Don't they look like a hot mess? They look like they're all beat up and broken because they are, but I'm telling you, the more beat up and fuzzy and splayed out they are, the better. And they're all uneven. If you look at this, everything's even. And if you look at this, it's mostly even. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these brushes, but I don't want my hair to look like that. So with these brushes, some of them are short, some of them are long. There aren't very many of them. And you can see hopefully this is in focus. This is just a regular brush I took. I pulled back some of the hairs, cut off all of those, and then just went in and gave it a really bad haircut. Those are my favorites. Just kind of these messy brushes. And I'm showing you this because this is a fan brush, and that works okay for some things. I don't use it very often, but here's a fan brush that I cut all the hairs off of. This one is my friend. This one is helpful sometimes for some things, but this guy's helpful all the time. And let's see, I like these kind of roundy brushes. I have the whole family here. And you can just kind of go in and snip away so it's not too thick at the end, it's thinner at the end, thick at the bottom, thinner at the end. Just play with it. And those are helpful for a lot of things. And here's another tortured fan brush that I like, especially for big heads. I think that's what I use to paint June, the big June. Here's another one. And let me see. And here's just a thin nail brush. They're cheap. You can get them on Amazon. I think I got 4 of these or 3 of these. They're all basically the same for, I don't know, like $8 or something. And they're gonna last me forever and ever and ever if I don't lose them. And I think I have already lost one of them. Quick. So if you have a short brush, a little short guy like this guy, and you go to put on the hair, you're gonna get that whole ribbony effect. You just, the line's the same all the way. And if you do one of these brushes, you've got a lot more freedom. Look at that. Woo! That's not wet enough. But trust me, take my word on it, this brush is a lot more fun. You have more glidability. It's just nice and long. And this is, I think this is a liner brush. It's intended for, you know, somebody to sign a painting and for other artsy things. But that's a good brush to have. That one takes a little practice. You have to be kind of okay with using your wrist. there's no wrong way to paint hair, but I can tell you a frustrating for me way to paint hair, or if I see somebody painting hair like this, I feel like I'm gonna scream. And it's just because it looks like such hard work. And it sometimes the result is quite amazing. Because you know, there are some babies that have very, very short hair. Every hair is like only this big. And they have that perfect head of hair. It just looks like they've had a, I don't know, like a little buzz cut that lays down perfectly. And so the effect is great. But doing it, I don't think I can. And it's people who paint hair like this. Now I'm gonna go to the next slide. And then we're gonna go like this, and gonna go like this. And if you could do it right, I think it turns out okay. I can't do it right. So painting like this is not helpful to me. And your hand is moving like this. I think if you want to play and have a good time, try imagining your hand like it's dancing, like you're a ballerina, you know, or not a ballerina, maybe a modern dancer. Or if you want to be naughty, like a stripper, you know, you're gonna swing those hips around. Just move that brush around, make it nice and sexy. Don't be afraid to use your hand, and just really light, and just have fun. I'm moving my whole body, like that makes a difference. That's silly. But you know, just kind of woo. And then when you're like, you know, filling in those lines, lift up your brush at the end. You don't want, here's a hair, here's a hair, here's a hair, here's a hair. Just have fun. Just kind of like follow that. So much fun. You don't want this, you want this. Or maybe you do want this, that's okay too. But oh gosh, that's a whole lot of work to me. It just seems like torture. I want to have fun and be expressive. And if you're into super, super hyper realism and you want that hair to look like nobody can tell that it's not real hair and nobody can tell that that's not a real baby, I don't know, you might need to take a tutorial where they teach you that. For me, that's not my goal. My goal isn't, oh my gosh, you can't even tell. Look at this. Oh, I thought it was real hair. Oh, I thought that was a real baby. That is not my goal. My goal is for it to look aesthetically pleasing. And painting, it's supposed to be pretty. It's supposed to have movement. That's what makes me happy. That's what speaks to me. Just think of, you know, wiggles and squiggles and, but that being said, and I think I've said this before, I'll remind everybody, remember when we were in school and you made a little picture of your mom? She looked like that, and she had hair that looked like that. And your mom loved it, and she stuck it on the refrigerator. That's because she should have, because that's super cute. And then we made a picture of ourselves in, I don't know, 3rd grade. And our mom gave us a really bad home perm. You can tell I'm talking about myself. Yes, your mom gave you a Tony home perm that was too tight and she left it in too long, and your teacher asked you to do a self-portrait and you needed to be honest. So you did this kind of hair. Because that's kind of what you felt like. You felt like that's exactly what you look like. You know, like a poodle doll. Unless you love this and this makes you happy, go for it. But if you want, I don't know, to level up a little bit and challenge yourself, maybe try something like this instead of like this. Try just like an exaggerated S, or think of a snake or a worm. Really curly one that's super happy. And remember, feather out the sides and then just come back and work off of this, just like you did with the top of the head. Those little rays coming out. A cool thing to do too is if you have some like craft paint and paint on a plate, this is your friend, and just play over and over and over again. Soon you're going to start to see things that look good to you. You're going to like look at that and say, ooh, I like that S pattern, I like that C pattern, I like the way this paint is moving.